for...
Yeah, the double standards.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Saints Row, I think the biggest problem is...
They just got too scared of...
Well, no, they wanted to pander to the newer, younger audience, and to do that, you have to make it appropriate enough that the kids can get into it. And no offense, but when I'm playing the story mode of a video game about being in a gang and the lieutenants of the gang are a Latino chick that just drives really well and a dude that never wears a shirt, but he's a really good cook.
Carmelista said DKSLKSLSLSLSLS.
The nerd!
Carmelista said
LDLSLSLSLSLSLSL. Hold on, I got fucking
Carmelista said a
Carmen
popular
spamming
VTuber
me.
liked one of my tweets. Carmelista said TF.
Tell her I love her.
But anyways, like, so to reiterate on that, we got the nerd who is scared to shoot a gun the entire game.
The jock.
The jock who just cooks really well, but he doesn't really bring much to the table other than that. And the driver chick who actually doesn't drive you at any point in the story. Like, you're driving all the time, basically. So
The only time she drove you is at the beginning of the game, right? When she knocked over the sign.
yeah, that's pretty much it. And even that, that was a cutscene. So it's like...
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with it. That's a cutscene.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of like parts in it that are like contradicting of themselves too. Like there's the the insurance fraud thing. You can own that. You can create that business in that city, and the lady who runs it for you, she you're like, all right, so I got to go throw myself in front of some cars. She's like, no, we could just false generate these reports and get the money that way. So it like defeats the entire purpose of the it's like, what the fuck, man? And like
Let me throw myself in front of cars, god damn it.
well, no, you can still do that, but it's like they kind of make fun of themselves, they're like, well, that's stupid, why would you do that? I could just generate the reports. It's like, so you're making fun of yourself now? All right, cool. It's just weird. And like there's places that you can get money around the city is literally you diving in a dumpster and finding a shoebox full of money. Like, that's random money around the city. To get, like, decorations for your Saints Row headquarters, you have to drive around and take pictures of things that you want in the club, in your, like, hideout. So it's very, like, preppy feeling. Like, the whole game feels like you're in a preparatory academy, and, like, you're...
I really hope that DLC builds off of that, then to give us something to actually, prep for.
No, preppy as in like, nice clothing and not really gangster, you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
that kind of preppy.
that preppy, yeah. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm hanging out with the nerdy group at a school, and they're like, let's create a gang! Like, no, that's not... I don't know. That's why I think the whole of Saints Row has went downhill completely since the first one. First one was good, real gang-like. It felt like an actual gang. The second one still felt like an actual gang, but you got somebody fucked you over and all that stuff. It makes sense. Yeah, it dips into the crazy a little bit, but still enough to make sense.
Saints Row 3 formula dips a little more into the crazy.
It's way
Saints
more
Row
into
4,
crazy.
The formula went way overboard with the crazy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're in hell. Apparently, I don't. Like, it's just like it went downhill.
Aliens.
It's a dead series, and they're trying to bring it back by changing it to the point where it's for the new generation. But I think even the new generation would be like, "This is cringe as fuck." Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
but here's the thing: we already have examples of how to bring back a series. Look at Doom.
See, I never really played Doom, so that kind of...
They brought it back tenfold, because all they did was stick to the formula and push the violence meter from 8 to 20.
Well, see, my thing is with Saints Row, what they should have done, and this is what they should have done. They should have done it to where it was like Saints Row 1 exactly. Like that style, like realistic gang type mentality, to where you were actually creating a gang, you were running drugs, you were actually doing gang type shit. Because that's one thing about Grand Theft Auto that I don't like. You're not... you're not in a gang. You know what I mean? Like, so in like GTA, you're a part of a bank robbing group, which I guess is kind of cool, but at the same time, you wouldn't have as much pull unless you were tied to a criminal organization.
Yeah.
So Saints Row has such a big opportunity to make.
But the Rockstar does do a good job at keeping the group small, means that they can go undercover and like hide a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because they aren't as easy to find as a full-on gang.
True, but I would have liked the idea of having a full-on gang like in Saints Row. That's why I think
Yeah.
Saints Row had such an opportunity to actually do something good, and they fucking dropped the ball.
Alright, I'm glad you gave me that review. I guess I'm not gonna be getting that game.
I honestly I wouldn't get it.
Alright.
Would I return it? No. I mean, I play it enough, but it's like, wait till it's on sale. It's one of those games where I don't think it's good enough to buy full price with the content that it has right now.
Alright.
That and half the missions are repetitive. Like every business you open in Saints Row is like you actually you go to this dude to get the deed to the church that you want to make your gang hideout, right? And like there's a bunch of deeds in there for other properties around the city. So you use those deeds to create businesses, and each business has little missions you have to do to fully unlock it, to unlock your gang customization. The problem is every single mission is the exact same. Like there's one that's a toxic waste company. You have to go pick up these trucks full of toxic waste, drive them from A to B without hitting anything, and you have to do that like 12 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other complaints you have about Saints Row?
Well, like I was saying though, like when you have the businesses or whatever with like the mundane tasks where you have to do 12 runs of getting this truck from point A to B without hitting anything,
It gets kind of repetitive.
yeah, the whole game just feels very repetitive, and like I said, the story content, it feels like there's maybe a few hours of content. If you played the main missions only, you'd beat the entire game in one sitting, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, like, because I play hard all the time. Like, I try really hard all the time, so I think I would be able to complete it in a very small amount of time. There's a lot of mundane things that you have to do during these missions as well that are really game-breaking. Like, after you're no longer in the group of the marshals or whatever that you start out as, you have to literally press F to get out of bed because he's depressed, and then he rolls over. Then you have to press F to get out of bed again because he rolled over, and then or you have to press something. I don't remember what the actual button is, but like you have to press something.
If it's F, then I have a feeling it's a reference to a certain meme.
Yeah, press F to pay respect. But the issue with it is like you have to mash it to get out of bed, and then he rolls over. You have to mash it to get out of bed, then he rolls over. Then you mash it to get out of bed, and he finally gets out of bed by falling on the floor, and then mopes to the kitchen, opens the fridge, grabs a waffle that's just sitting there, puts it in the fucking toaster. It doesn't work, so he gets mad, and like, so it's like all of that. No one gives a shit. It's just super cringe. Like, it's a play on depression. I get it, but like, fuck off. Like, I'm here to kill shit. Like, you know, and it's like.
And if I remember right from the beginning of the game, they made it seem like he had been kicked out of the gang before.
Well, you were in a different gang in the city. Like that's the funny part. Each person in your group was a member of one of the gangs in the city, except for the nerdy guy. So like the Latino girl's a part of the Mexican gang or whatever. She leaves because she gets mad because the leader's the dick. Makes sense.
Oh my god.
The buff dude's a part of this.
It's a gang.
Yeah, the buff dude's the part of the gang that's like all pink and like fuck the establishment kind of gang.
That makes sense. He's pretty gay.
Yeah, and he is gay actually. He's I think he's bisexual, but yeah, he
oh my fucking
halfway.
God.
That's the funny part. They throw that in your face too the whole time because halfway through the game, you'll have cutscenes where you'll be talking to him, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, we need to go talk to this guy. He runs the site." And he's like, "Oh, how do you know him?" And he's like, "Yeah, I dated the guy." Like they kind of like throw it in your face because it happens a lot. Like he's a whore, but like,
Oh my god.
he's dated everybody apparently, women and men.
He's been around the block a couple times.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that makes it feel like they're pushing an agenda in this game. And I don't necessarily care about it because, you know, I'm quote unquote woke, just not cringy about it. I think they just handled it in a really cringy way, that's all. But also, I was thinking about it too, even the multiplayer value of it. You could do the whole game in multiplayer. That part's kind of cool, but I'm going to tell you right now, with as easy as it is to beat the game by yourself, it's going to be fun to play multiplayer for about an hour, and then you're just going to be shoot, drive a little, shoot, drive a little, bored. That's just it. And that was like a big bother to me. That and the map feels pretty small, because the city it's like a big square, okay, and surrounding the entire map is a very big open, like deserty area. So they got away with half the map being open, empty space. Felt very
Stupid.
yeah, it felt very lame to me, but you know, whatever. The customization's actually not that good either. Like, yes, you can customize your character really well. That's awesome. But the thing that bothered me is the clothing. There's little stalls all around the city instead of one store with all the clothes in it. So if you want a certain clothing, you have to go to every store until you find where that one thing is. Like, I went to a store once and it was just boots. Just cowboy boots. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So then I go to like leather and lace and it's just leather stuff, obviously. And then I go to this other stall and it's just cowboy hats. I'm like, the fuck is this shit, man? Like,
I don't feel like you're in LA.
it was just annoying. Honestly, it was shit. That and the whole game just looks like Fortnite.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it literally looks like Fortnite now. And I think, which to be fair, I guess Fortnite would look like Saints Row because Saints Row was out way before Fortnite. But you get what I'm saying. It has that feel.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie
At
to
least
you.
Saints Row 4 had the dignity for like the 4th mission you ever did. They gave you a fucking orbital laser.
Yeah, and I think the funniest part about this is there's a lot of pokes to the old Saints back in the day. Like there's a lot of like references, but there's no way they would even know those people. They're all the way over in New Mexico. Stillwater was like New York area, wasn't it? Like that was like the idea.
Yeah.
So there's no way they would even be able to have these references. So it's like, it's just weird. And
unless the Saints are just that renowned as a game.
well, that's just it. You want to know how they got the name Saints in this game?
How?
They broke into they chose to use a church as their hideout. They came in and somebody had graffitied the angel to have guns in their hands, and he's like, "We're gonna be the Saints," and then they're like, "All right, that's cool. We'll do that." And then the way they got their logo as the fleur, they walked into that church and it was like a marble on the floor with that logo on it, and they're like, "That's our logo." I'm like, "The fuck?" It's just like it. Hey, don't be fighting each other. I'm looking at you. They're about to bitch.
I'd rather just not have the introduction on how they got the logo and the name like in the 1st and through 4th games. You just kind of were part of the game.
Hold on, the cats are trying to kill each other. Hey, spread out. Spread out. Dude, you're just waiting for me to look away, aren't you? I know you are. I can see it. Alright, give me a second. I'm just going to grab one of them and put them up on the thing. Hey. No, don't you run off. No.
It's like a coach trying to get his dude to not fight the other dude already.
You're going to go up here in the cat tree. Alright. Now stay up there. Alright. Okay.
It's like I was listening to a coach trying not to have the guy he's training fight the other dude preemptively.
Wait, what?
This is my food.
I don't think this is the, I don't know. I don't think this is the origin of Saints Row. I really don't.
Yeah, no.
No, this is definitely a future after Saints Row. All the originals. Like, this is a sequel, not a prequel. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if they ever come out and say, "Oh yeah, this is a sequel to the original," I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you, fuck off. This gang was not created by a bunch of preppy college kids that needed to pay off their loans." That's half of this is them saying they want to make more money to pay off their student loans. I swear to God, that's why this game was created. Like, why the gang was created was to make money to pay off their loans.
Why does that feel like it's so relevant now? Oh wait, as it is.
That's what they're wanting it to be. They're wanting it to feel like almost too woke. Which, I mean, that's the credit they're getting right now.
Yeah.
I think they dropped the ball, personally. Would I, if knowing what I know now, would I buy the game? Fuck no. Not a chance. Not even a chance. Like, I give
Knowing
it
what I know from you, probably not.
I give it a 30 out of 100 on a scale of the cake scale, which is an actual thing, yeah. But yeah, no, it's terrible. It's almost not playable. Like, it's playable enough that I'm like, oh, that was fun for a few hours. Am I gonna delete it? Probably.
Damn.
Yeah. Sucks. I might do a playthrough on a live stream or something where we just kind of make fun of it, but like, I'm definitely not going to play it seriously. Also, like, I'm not going to spoil too much just in case you ever do end up getting it, like maybe after it goes down in price, but like when the bosses actually die, they don't make it like a boss fight, like a big thing. Like, I was playing one mission, and one of the main bosses, like, hops down, and he's in front of me, and he punches me one time and knocks me out, and then another one of my guys comes up and just stabs him in the chest. And that's it. That's how he died. I was like, what? That was a boss. Normally in Saints Row, the bosses die crazy, like the monster truck scene, where you put him in you put his girlfriend in the car at a monster truck rally, and he runs her over and shit, and it's all dramatic. Like, that kind of shit happens. But in this, he just gets stabbed by somebody who's not you and dies, and you're like, well, what the fuck? Even your character's like, I wanted to be the one to stab him, and I'm like, me too, dickhead! Like,
yeah,
it's just stupid. And then, like, the other gang, one of the other gangs, you just kill them in a side mission. Literally, all of them.
Wow.
Like, there's 5 leaders to that gang, and you kill all of them in, like, side missions. It's like, the fuck, dude? Like, the fuck? And then, one of the other main guys...
When the third gang showed up and started to take over the city, you actually teamed up with the second gang that you had been fighting for God knows how long.
Exactly.
It's like, shit, these guys are bad. And then the gang that you teamed up with, their leader sacrificed himself by climbing on a nuke to destroy it before it got to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Inadvertently nuking himself in the process.
Yeah, and I feel like, here's a spoiler though, honestly, but it's not that big of a deal because this game's kind of shit. But like, the marshal guy, the big cowboy man who's like, I run this city, boy. That guy. You wonder how you defeat him? There's 2 options. Hostile takeover of his business, which is like you lower his stock prices and then buy his stock and then vote him off the board. I swear to God, that's part of the game. Fucking stupid. Or you shoot him in the face in that same board meeting. That's it. It's in a cutscene too, so you don't actually have to do any of it. It's like, they're just... None of the bosses die in a cool fashion. None of them. At the end, the guy you kill in the cool fashion was just somebody who betrayed you. Like, he's not even a boss of a crew or anything like that. It's a psychological thriller at that point. Because he just betrays you and tries to kill you, I guess, or
I got
whatever.
in your server, but I don't see where I got pinged.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, that's
And now
really
it's
all
not
I have
going
to
away.
say about that game. Is it's honestly pretty bad.
Compared to the other games.
Wait, what?
It seems lackluster compared to the other games.
It is 100%.
Because as I said, I haven't played Saints Row 4 for almost 6 years now, and I still remember El Luchador, the gang leader.
Exactly, and you also still remember the monster truck dude, you know, with the tattoos on his face and stuff. Like, you remember these guys. I won't remember any of the bad guys from this game because it's like it's one of those games where none of them died heroically or died like badassly. Like, I can even remember the original game, like the dude in the yellow gang, the big black dude who's like, real cool job, man. Like, you know, you still remember him too. Like,
Yeah.
you remember all these guys, or at least about them, and there's like a huge story depth to it. Like, do you remember after the first game, when you get in the second game, you find out one of the guys was a cop? You can literally go to the church and it tells you the whole backstory of in between the games. In this one,
Yeah.
there is no story, in my opinion. There's just no story. It's just terrible.
Hell, I even remember missions from Saints Row 4 because that was the most recent one. It's the one that I spent the most time on, seeing as it was the first Saints Row game I had.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I'm not
Like,
gonna lie,
the
I didn't
orbital
play that
race-
one. It goes to show you, I don't think this game is worth buying at its current state, at its current price point. I give it a 30 out of 100%, so 30%, which in the 10 layers of cake, that's a fail. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and enjoyed us talking about the game. It was very organic. It wasn't really your normal review videos, so hopefully you guys liked it, and there's more of these to come.